Morning, friends and family. Chadwin Joe here. April 21. We're going to be reading out of our book, Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. This is the Lord speaking to you. That's how this devotional is written. That's the perspective. Let me control your mind. The mind is the most restless, unruly part of mankind. Long after you have learned the discipline of holding your tongue, your thoughts defy your will and set themselves up against me. Man is the pinnacle of my creation, and the human mind is wondrously complex. I risked all by granting you freedom to think for yourself. This is a godlike privilege, forever setting you apart from animals and robots. I made you in my image, precariously close to deity. Though my blood has fully redeemed you, your mind is the last bastion of rebellion. Open yourself to my radiant presence, letting my light permeate your thinking. When my spirit is controlling your mind, you are filled with life and peace. The mind of a sinful man is death, but the mind controlled by the spirit is life and peace. Well, there's a lot to be said here, and I am still trying to figure this one out. And to be controlled by the spirit, to be controlled by God's spirit is life and peace, and to be controlled by your the mind is the battlefield. The mind is the battleground. And you're at war with yourself. There's no doubt about it. I was at war with myself for a very long time. For most of my life, I was at war with myself, and I had absolutely positively no peace, and I had no sense of hope for a long time. And I let everything around me influence my mind, and I let everything around me. I wasn't putting anything good. I wasn't putting anything good into my head or into my mind, and whatever you put in is going to come out. That's a given. And somehow, some way, I had to let God take control of my thoughts and my actions and my words. And the only way to do that was to replace everything that I put in. And the only way to do that was to start to pray and start to trust and start to seek and start to look to Him and start to read His Word. Start to read His Word. The Word says that you have to surrender every thought into captivity of Christ. So before you actually get yourself into trouble, or actually before you make a mistake or you do something you're going to regret, there's a thought. There's always a thought before there's an action. So that's why it's so important for us to let our minds be controlled by the Spirit, because the Spirit is life, peace, love, and joy. So before you take that step, try to train yourself. I've tried to train myself where I need to just stop, and before I let it fly, I try to stop and I try to surrender every thought. And what would Jesus do? That's the trick. Remember that saying, what would WWJD, what would Jesus do? Try to train yourself to do that. What would Jesus do in this situation, and how would He handle it? Be encouraged today. Know that God loves you very much, and let Him control your thoughts.